Alright guys, welcome back to another Master and Apprentice video and podcast. This is not the video I had planned for today. It's kind of last second. You can probably see some of the remnants back there of the LEGO review that I'm editing. That will be out relatively soon, but this I thought was kind of important to go over. We've heard rumors and we've heard lots of inside leaks, but nothing had been confirmed. We had heard some pretty reputable stuff as of last year, but it wasn't necessarily shut down, but it was kind of rained on. And what I'm talking about is Kathleen Kennedy exiting Lucasfilm, right? President of Lucasfilm, kind of the head honcho over there. What Kevin Feige is for Marvel, Kathleen Kennedy is for Lucasfilm and Star Wars. And we had heard last year that she would be kind of leaving as of like early this year or late last year. And, you know, the trades, the Hollywood trades had kind of come out with an interview with Kathleen Kennedy, kind of shutting it down, saying even when she does leave, she's never actually gone, that kind of a thing. And it was just like, it's kind of weird. But then as a couple weeks ago, the same guy who had reported that came out and said, our end of January, first month of 2026, she's out. Like she's going to be exiting. And I had waited to just see any kind of confirmation. Not that I didn't believe the reporter, but I just wanted to see, if they're going to delay it again or I don't know. But as of yesterday, January 15th, this will be Kathleen Kennedy's last week of president at Lucasfilm, and who are going to be coming over is co-president now, Dave Filoni and Lin-Win Brennan. Kind of co-presidency as I think that's Lin-Win. I don't know how I'm pronouncing. I'm just gonna say Brennan for now. She'll be kind of more of like the business executive, like kind of handling that front, whether it's like promoting that kind of thing, lining things up. And Dave Filoni would be more of the creative executive. I'm sure they'll both dip into each side. You see something similar to DC with James Gunn and Peter Safran, whereas like James Gunn deals with more of the creative, getting the projects lined up, kind of gathering some of the talent. He does some promoting as well. You saw a lot of that with Superman, and Peter Safran does more of the business side, right? That's just layman's terms, best way to explain it. You'll see something similar to that with Star Wars now with Dave Filoni, who I think a lot of Star Wars fans are familiar with. He's just done a lot of animated projects, even back with George Lucas with the Clone Wars, the Rebels. He's done the Ahsoka series, the Mandalorian. He's had a lot of successful projects with Lucasfilm. And Lin-Win Brennan, apparently she's been with Lucasfilm kind of behind the scenes as a general manager for ever, like essentially since George Lucas with ILM. So I think these are both trusty hands. It's it's kind of a wait and see how this goes thing. I think it's a however you view it, Kathleen Kennedy's tenure at Lucasfilm wasn't the most successful, right? You can blame her, you cannot blame her. It's kind of up to you and how you view that situation. But for however long it's lasted, 12, 14 years, you've had some success, but I wouldn't say the overall tenure has been successful, right? You've had a lot of failures as well. And as of recent, most especially, like there's just been a lot of failure after failure after failure, and it seems like it's a downward trend. And so I think no matter how you look at it, this is probably a move for the better, for a positive, but we'll have to wait and see. Like I said, Dave Filoni and Lin-Win Brennan are trusty hands from Lucasfilm that I think fans can trust. But you never know, right? That George Lucas did the same thing with Kathleen Kennedy, and it worked out for a while. The sequels, or at least the first two, were very successful, but it did get very divisive. So we'll see how this goes. There's a lot to wait and see, but this is pretty big news for Star Wars, Disney, Lucasfilm. I don't know if we're gonna see big changes and big impact right away, or if it's gonna be for years to come. But I think this is pretty big news, especially just because we've been covering a lot of Star Wars over the years on this YouTube channel. To see this kind of change within Lucasfilm, I think, does mean a lot for the overall program. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. With all that being said, don't forget to hit that like, don't forget to hit that subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.